I'm ready whenever you are. I'm ready. Twitch. So, hello everyone, good evening, and welcome to Gavra Racing. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly just a little mic test there, but hello everyone and welcome to Gavra Racing for another brand new social race event. We're back with the social racing after a bit of a break, but now we are back with racing once again. So today we're going to be commentating myself, Viper, with the evaluation race. Very exciting, as we've got 15 drivers around Silverstone here trying to get the best times possible here. As you can say, what's that? That was John Wick there, kind of going the other way on the pitch straight line, but hopefully everything is okay. I forgot to adjust the mic settings on Discord, but it's all good, nothing bad. But currently Retza currently leads the time boards with a 128.5. Yes, this is Viper, yes, this is myself. Hello Joe J, as now we've got Reza leading the time boards with a 128.5, which is a very solid time with only 11 minutes. That's a good banker for the pink livery car driver. And of course Gavra as well. Of course broadcasting this, of course you can see by the broadcast, I'm not really controlling it, but I'm going to try and follow the broadcast. But as you can see, Pulek now grounds up the final corner and takes P3 ahead of John Wick, so good kind of lap from him, only around 7/10 though, so he wants to improve that, but he's on 2 lap old tyres, so he has been a bit on a run on those soft tyres, so he's going to try and switch on some new tyres and then maybe go for another good lap. But that's a decent lap for the new driver. I think it's his first ever race in Gavra, so this is his debut. I have seen him in the races for fun. Of course, if you want to contribute to that, of course, just DM one of the F1 admins. Chat was cleared. I think Gavra, you might have to change it. I think that's the moderator settings. I think. Oh, good evening, Natty. Good evening, Natty. That is the Weekend League Season 1 and 2 champion, and also sign up to the Weekend League Season 12. I'm actually really excited. Of course, I'm signed up as well. But Gavra, I think you might have to adjust the chat settings for that, because you can't send messages every 30 seconds. Yes, somebody's adjusted the chat settings. I've not done anything myself because I can't do that, but something's happened really magically. Anyway, we've got Scatty into the pits. Nobody on the lap. We're just going on board with Jolston here. He is a kind of on the form. He is slowly driving really nicely, especially the races for fun. It's no longer in slow mode now. Yep, there you go. Great, Natty. Thank you very much for that. Yeah, it's all okay now. But yeah, thank you, Natty, for that little temporary fix. But now we're back on to racing a full scale, as now Sector 2 yellow flags could be possibly due to some drivers slowing down just to let people pass and get them on with the laps. But we've got Profanity Evil. EVL or Evil, I have not clue, but I'll just say Profanity Evil, as now he's currently on his first runner and has 28.1. It's a purple first sector, so that's a solid first sector. He manages to cut the curb nicely, and now through Luffy, he just wants to clip the throttle nicely and run it on the track, as now he goes through one of the most controversial corners, we should say, on this track. We've gone through Cops now, very high speed corner. He takes it quite nicely there. Of course, low throttle and just carrying it through sector 2 here. Now Maggots and Beckett's a very difficult but very famous complex of corners around this circuit, as now he makes it onto the hangar straight, and now it's going to be a 1 minute 5.5, not a purple middle sector, which is unfortunate for the blue livery car driver, as now through Stowe, I forgot my corners, but now through Stowe and now through the final chicane, Vale chicane, and now he manages to get traction here. Very difficult to get the traction around this corner, it seems, but he does manage to place it 10th, as Scats is on intermediates. As that is John Wick, currently taking provisional pole position with a 1 minute 28.3, as rain is in 5 minutes. So that means the drivers who need still to set a lap have to set their laps now. Otherwise, it's gonna be game over for them. As now VT10 Ultra's on the lap as well. See what he can do now through Cops. We've got for him now. As you can see, he brakes. They're quite safe on the lap, but Showy goes even faster with a 1 minute 28.1. A very good lap from, I think he's a British driver. Let's just quickly see. Yeah, English driver. Very good lap from him, and that puts him up to provisional pole position, possibly maybe pole position. You still got drivers like Reza on a lap, I believe, who's going to try and knock that time off. Why do I need Amazon Prime? Yes, because you need to have need to be subscribed to the Gavra's Twitch, and you can use Amazon Prime as well. Because you have to be subscribed if you want to rewatch it to Gavra with a Twitch Prime subscription, or you can watch it for free after 3 or 4 days after the race has been done. But yeah, that's pretty much why. It's because you need a Twitch subscription to be able to rewatch the race anytime you want, which is a bit of a nice advantage. But now the rain has come down, and now it's going to be interesting. Now some drivers who haven't set a lap, they're going to be under very big risk, especially Martin here, one of the I mean in my opinion, one of the biggest contestants for this race win. In my opinion, he's been very quick. He's won the race for fun yesterday. He has won it, but can he maybe do something? But now he is in massive trouble here. He's got 5 minutes on the clock, but now whoever makes laps now has to do them quickly and hope that the rain doesn't not really slow these cars down. It's a very critical point, especially for Martin, because he has not set a lap, and if the rain gets worse, he will have to start at the back of the grid and hope for a very good rebound. But it's going to be a difficult one for Martin. Now the rain is going to reduce grip on the soft tyres. Now the performance is going to be soaking down. Every second we count, as now Martin battling through the corners in the first sectors. Now there's yellow flags ahead of him. That's just, I think that's Birdie, I think, slowing down. I think that's Jotting slowing down there, just to I believe let Martin pass, not give any problems. But he has set the purple first sector, so I think that might be very decent from him at the moment. But he has to still keep pushing, as Jotting kind of gets in the way there, as that might hinder Martin's progress, because you kind of want to cut a little bit in on that little kink. But all good there for him. It is raining, but it's just not raining heavily enough, like into conditions. Joe, but now through Maggots and Beckett's, it's kind of getting more bad. I can see kind of how slow he is. At 1 minute 5.0, that's quicker than some of the drivers. Yes, I think the rain has still not done really bad deeds for all the drivers. But now through Stowe goes Martin. Now through the Vale chicane he goes. Now he wants to get the car as nicely positioned as possible to get the best exit and use all the track possible, and he spins it out and invalidates on the last corner. That is absolutely unfortunate from Martin on the last corner, just on the kink, as now yeah, he crashes. As now I think that was pointless, but yeah, DRS is now disabled, so Well. Martin couldn't have set a lap anyway, but that is super unlucky for him, and that's gonna pull him out of the qualifying session, as that is just absolutely just torrid for him. As now all the drivers who have gone out on laps, they cannot improve, and it's just gonna be the end of qualifying then. Now as John Wick retires, as now the conditions will not improve unless the rain stops now and we see a sharp increase in dry track, but don't see a chance in that, as now that this is probably going to be the grid, if I'm going to be honest, unless somebody can somehow pull an amazing lap. But everybody's going to the pits. The Arsenal, of course, is disabled, so there's no chance for him. Yes, the good lap was 29.9, so he would be around P8, P9. And considering with his with how much rain there was on his lap, that is a very decent lap. That would be around where Wave Micro or Profanity is, around as he spun at the exit of left field, as that just shows that the soft tires are a piece of useless tire compound. Now it's the inters which is better, but of course you will not set a better time on the inters, of course, as they are a lot slower. But yeah, up Night Slash though is a very decent lap. Of course, if you don't know me, I am Viper. Some people of course predict me as always the race winner because I'm quick and that. Yeah, kind of a tradition for me now, but yeah, can't really do anything about it. It's just become a tradition for all the drivers. But of course, as now it's got 2 minutes left. Yep. Hey Dan, how's it going, mate? Yep, my voice has changed. It's absolutely gone. Yep, my voice has changed. My voice has changed a little bit. What do you mean selfish? No, I don't mean selfish. But like, loads of people are like saying, "Oh, Viper's gonna win. He's gonna win that one. He's gonna win that." Like, you know, Georgia, you're quick, for example. There's, you know, Pusha Dino, you've got Shortbread, you've got Russell Biffen, who hasn't signed up yet, which I'm kind of annoyed at. Also you've got, who else? You've got a Marco Speed guy, he is my pace as well, but of course he hasn't registered, I believe. But of course there's some good fast drivers, like Night Slash as well, forgot to mention. But yeah, it's just a lot of people kind of narrow you all down, and they put me as the best because I always win the races. And yeah, and Pusha Dino is said he's buying a Fanatec setup, and he said he's gonna absolutely flatten us in the next game. So let's see what happens. But anyway, yep, my voice has changed now. Anyway, now it's gonna be the end of qualifying, as now everybody goes into the pit. As you can see, the track is intermediate conditions. What wheel do I have? I have a Logitech G29. I had two. One of them was pretty much wrecked, as it's been used for like 2 years, and then like a year later I had to replace it with another Logitech G29, of course, which blew a hole in the wallet. But of course, getting a new wheel is going to be very good for your performance. But I might be considering getting a new setup. I've got no idea what I'm going to do with it. Of course, I'm probably not. Who do I think is going to win tonight? I think Reza's going to win it. I think he's got the pace. He's quite quick. I think he might get that. I think, in my opinion, he's a very quick driver. He's got very good experience as well as start alongside me in one of the races. Oh my god. No, this is what I mean. This is exactly what I mean. I'm not even in the race and they say I'm gonna win. Like, unless if I join right now, but I can't. But yeah, but that is gonna be the end of qualifying, so I think Birdie, if it would be very cool if you retired. For one person. Well, Gavra, it might be a little bit sad because I'll be in the weekend league. Nah, maybe Shortbread's definitely gonna be in there. I can assume that. It's gonna be a big fight in the weekend league though. You've got a lot of champions. You've got Billy Meese, you've got Shortbread, you've got Natty, a lot more which I can name. Yeah, Reza Shari, yeah. John Wick maybe as well. He's around 2/10 off the pace, but I think just those three, unless there's a massive turnaround. Maybe one of the our drivers in the top five, around outside the top four, might win. No, but even might. You never know. You never know. Martin can put an outstanding performance as he goes into the pits, and in a moment, we will get a checkered flag as we've been waiting for a good amount of minutes. But let's quickly go into the weekend league. So of course, Gavra is going to release the dates of when the race is going to be held, and also everything about the league. The weekend league is going to be released soon. So if you want to join the weekend league 1, tier 1 or tier 2, of course feel free to DM Gavra or one of the F1 admins, and they will help you in signing up for the weekend league, and then race with one of the greatest drivers, as well as the good drivers, and also the experienced and a lot of good drivers in this league. And also this league makes it a very good place to race, even if you're not the quickest of the quickest. But of course, this league gives a very good place for drivers to start as well. But anyway, now we've got the classification. Qualifying results are in. So Shari takes pole position by a healthy 2/10 margin, with John Wick second, Reza third, close out the top three, and then Pulek is fourth, Gilston, Jossing, Geo and Roby, Wave Micro debutant, Profanity Evil closes the top 10, VT10 Ultra, Bergatia, and then Adam Maloney, I think somebody else, Martin, closes the grid off for the race. I have realised today I was driving, I must be back my whole life. Well, driving no force feed, that is going to be you're definitely have the lightest wheel in the world, man. I race like, what, 50, 60? It's like, I'm not... do you see that? If you can see on the bottom left, you've got like the pit drivers. Look at the pit crew on the bottom left. Can you see that? They're like standing in like a normal position. Look at them. I improve. So are you telling me I can improve our force feed? Yes, because you can. Because like the more force feed back you up, then the less. I mean, but oh wow. Alright then, let's have a nice inter-race. But now we're going to start. Birdie gets a drive through off the start, but it's lights out and away we go. As now you've got to get all my MFDs out, as now it's going to be Shari leading to turn one, but everybody goes insanely deep. But everybody's clean off the line. Pula, I think somebody has spun off in the distance. V10 Ultra and Martin, and the two good friends have collided. And now Shari leads into club, as now we've got Pulek wheel to wheel with Jossing, who's made a very decent start, as now they're going to be wheel to wheel, as now Jossing gets a nice exit, but Pulek is behind him trying to battle fourth place ahead of him, as now you've got Joston down the inside of Roby into love field we go, and he's ahead of Roby into I forgot all that into Brooklands. That was a nice overtake there from Joston, who was P6, as now we've got Profanity currently very close to Roby, to Wave Micro, same as to Roby, as now they're on the pace. Roby seems to be quite off the pace here, as now it's a very decent start, especially for the top three, as now they're all kind of separated now. John Wick is behind though, Dress is kind of losing the time, but Shari is leading by quite a decent, comfortable margin, as now we've got John Wick who's quite close to him. I think he might overtake him quite soon. So as you can see, John Wick really trying to push the car, try and get as close to Shari's rear wing as possible, as now Shari sets the fastest up, of course, the first driver to cross the line will take the fastest lap. As now we're on to lap 2 of 13. So of course, for the evaluation race, if whoever wins, whoever is in the top 10, will guarantee a pass, a nice ticket to the main race tomorrow, which is going to be full qualifying, and it's going to be full of 50% race and 100% race. That'll be absolutely mental. There's going to be a 50% race, and then followed by a 45-minute full qualifying, which should be interesting, especially for a track like Silverstone. But we've got Poulet kind of really doing a well job here, staying behind Jossing, as now Jossing goes quite wide here. Now this might invite Poulet for a move. He's using the battery, as well as Jossing, as now Ultra gets a 3-second time penalty for track limit violations. And as you can see there, Poulet nearly clashing with Jossing at Cops, as now they're going to be very close to each other through Maggots, Beckett, and of course a hanger straight. And now Poulet gets a 3-second time penalty. Of course, this track is very difficult when it comes to track limits. Pretty much will be commentating. Yes, I will be commentating it. I was going to drive tomorrow, but of course I'm going to ruin my clamps that much, so I'm not going to race tomorrow. And for the weekend league I will be racing 100%, but I just don't want to risk damage to my clamps on my Logitech, as no, I'm not driving. Yeah, I'm a commentator rather, 100%. But yeah, my clamp is just not really reinforcing like I wanted it. The right one is nicely clamped in, but the left one doesn't really want to clamp in for some reason. So I'm gonna try and fix that soon, but not now. As now we have to focus on some issues now. We've got a nice little battle here from 4th to 7th, as now Profanity and Roby are fighting. Now Roby's kind of pulled back though, and now he tries to go around the outside onto the Wellington straight, and they're going to be side by side going into Brooklands. And is it going to be a P8 for Profanity? It's going to be P8 for Roby, as now around the outside through Brooklands goes Roby, but Profanity takes it, gets the move done. Roby tries to set up the move. He sets it quite nicely, but Profanity is just well ahead as Poulet gets into P4 now, going into Cops. So nice move there from oh, I guess just a nice move from the red livery drivers. Now he passes it on to P4 and then kind of is gaining, so he's kind of at a decent pace. Perez now on John Wick down the inside, a Stowe, and now they're going to be fighting a lot. Now I think John Wick just lost his pace at the moment, as now John Wick down to P3 and lost on the podium position, as now Martin is recovering slowly, as now Reza sets the fastest lap. So Reza, I think he's going to stop. He's kind of putting the pace in, if I'm going to be honest. He's really pacing right now around this circuit, as Shari is leading by a healthy margin, around 1.6 seconds to as now Shari's going to be around 1.1 seconds. It was 1.6, and going into the Wellington straight. Now it's a second, so Reza really turning up the pace on that player car, the multiplayer car. Of course, this is not the F1 teams, if you are incorrect, but look at Jossing is really losing time significantly. It's holding this pack up, as now Gilston is going to try and defend from Gilston, who's going to look for a move, and nearly hit Jossing into Cobbs, and he gets a moment out of Cobbs. So very close move there, but now we're going to be seeing a big fight from P5 to P7. Maybe Profanity might catch up to this duel between the three of them, as now is going to be a very big fight going into Stowe now, as now Maiko is really pushing it, but now Justin's got not a lot of battery to battle with, as now Justin down the inside into Stowe, and now he makes it really easy, but Justin really struggling in getting the car. As you can see, he makes a big dive, and that forces Justin to go off the track a little bit, which hinders the exit, but still Justin gets a very decent exit. and manages to stay P5, but Maiko is right behind the rear wing of Jossing here, who's going to try and make a challenge, but now Jossing makes a mistake, so Jossing really off the pace in the starting laps of this race, but now Maiko gets the move done. He squeezes Jossing and gets ahead into P6. That's a good start for Maiko into P6, and that is a neat move from Micro, as now he's going to try and chase down Gilston in P5, who's just ahead of him, around 7/10 of the gap, as currently not a lot of battles. Jossing still behind Micro, so Jossing wants to try and maybe go for another chance at the white livery car, the default livery car, I think. Yep. Am I correct? Yes, I am correct. As now Adam Maloney gets a 3-second time penalty. A handful of drivers getting penalties here. As not much really, to be honest. Yeah, Gavra used to play F1, especially in the freshman league. I believe in F1 2020. That's when he was really playing F1 a lot. I remember. Gavra was, he was just amazing. Everyone was excited for Gavra. As I think he once got points in one of the races, which was just amazing. Everybody was absolutely amazed by that. But anyway, Cherry sets the fastest lap. He's increasing that gap as somebody has spun, and that is Gio, I think, into Stowe. And that is not the best news for the purple livery. That's a nice kind of a Hulk inspiration, in my opinion. Or as he spins again, as that is not really going to help, as now he is really losing a big bunch of time here. It's going to be difficult for him to get back up to the top 10, as now he's onto Vale Chicane, and Martin's just going onto the Wellington Straight. That's a big difference as he spins once again, I believe. Very unfortunate for him. Roby gets a penalty whilst I was spectating him, as now still got this small train. Gilston though is pulling away, so Gilston has quite good pace at the moment. He's got a 4-second gap to Pulek, but however he's got 6 seconds of time penalties ahead, so that means at the moment he is provisionally P4 unless one of the top 3 does get a penalty of 6 seconds in 7 laps, which is quite difficult to do, but anything can happen, as surprisingly no safety cars. The gap is quite similar between Shari and Reza, as Reza's going to try and close down that gap. It's quite similar, fluctuating kind of between 1.3, 1.4, 1.5 seconds. I also, well, I was impressed. Oh, right. I want to. Oh, yeah. 2019. I don't think I was in 2019. I think I was like 2020, like very late 2020. That's when I joined. Yes, Natty also won a Constructors' Championship. Of course, I remember his legendary Premier Series drive in Singapore, in which I believe he got a title. I'm not sure, but unfortunately not. Yes, you have won 2 Weekend League titles, Season 1 and Season 2. And then Bonival won the 3rd one, a 3rd season, and Rafe is 4th. Oh, Rafe is a quick driver though. He is a quick driver. I don't know where he is now, but he's very quick. When I was racing on controller, and as an absolute baller, I was absolutely bottling every corner. But now I'm winning race after race. Anyway, kind of the gaps have gone out now. There's not a lot of racing here now. The gaps are around 1 second, so not really very close racing. But still, we've got some drivers kind of close to each other. It's got a small train. There's now 2 drivers get penalty, and a big one in the name of Shari 17. He gets a 3-second time penalty for track limit violations, and that's going to really hinder his progress, and he's to gain 1.3 seconds in 6 laps, which is possible, but it's going to be very difficult with the amount of ERS he has. Martin also gets another penalty, and he is in the top 10 at the moment. He's got 6 seconds, and the driver behind him has 11 seconds, who is VT10 Ultra. So now currently we've got a nice little possible battle between Reza and John Wick, as the gap is just about nearly into a 9/10. It's just around a second, and John Wick is kind of on the pace, if I'm going to be honest, as he's trying to get that car just limping on the straight there. As you can see, it's difficult to get the power on, as now Reza's also gaining, but of course so of course these driver setups are completely different. So some drivers might be strong in some other corners, and then however some drivers might be stronger on the straights, and I think it seems that Shari's good better on the corners. Hello. I should be number one in the Gavra racing. Well, I've got 10 pole positions, and I think it's 12 poles and 10 wins, which is quite a lot. So I'm going to try in this season, try and break that, and try and become the first position pacer. But of course, the record holder Ben Roberts is in the season, so of course he can win. But currently, Reza, the gap is a second here, so all eyes are going to be attached on this now, as the gap has gone down by quite a bit, and that has now forced Shari to possibly go in defensive mode, as he will get a podium position, but of course he would want a P1, but of course it's going to be a very tough task, as Reza sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix with a 1 minute 37.6. Very good lap from him. His pace is really showing. Is here? Okay, no, that's reason. No, I think the Weekend League Tier 1, I think it's 2 more spots in Tier 1. And then you've got Tier 2, which has got 7 spots. So 13 spots for Weekend League 2, 18 spots for Weekend League 1. So yeah, quite excited. Of course, I'm teaming up with Pochadino. Quite excited for us. Both of us are really quick drivers, so maybe we're going to try and go for the constructors and try and dominate the season. But of course, never anything can happen. I can't really say anything. But as you can see, Shari really pushing here, using all of his battery. I have 1 successful points finish in the fastest slow driver there is. I'm really excited for turn 1. So, yep, exactly. There's a lot of fast drivers in there. It's going to be tight, in my opinion. I'm really annoyed that Russell Biffin isn't in there. I'm annoyed. Like, I don't know where he's gone. Like, since the round 6, round 5, he has just absolutely went. He just dipped. But anyway, the gap has gone up now. It was 1 second, 9/10. Now it's 1.3. So Rez has kind of gone down the pace. Shari is pushing all as he can, and John Wick is losing time as well. So I think John Wick might just have to settle for P3 at the moment, unless Reza makes a very big mistake, which pushes Reza into John Wick's eyes, and it's going to be very difficult. Who is a commentator? Is Viper myself. Also, hey, Fake Nutson. Also, we've got Reza. The gap is fluctuating. Quite interesting. The gap's around 1.2, 1.3. It kind of fluctuates, so they've pretty much got equal pace, if I'm going to be honest. Sounds British? Yes, I am British, correct. I am from Wales. I am a Welsh. Why did you change your name from Zexify? I just felt Zexify is just not a good name anymore. I just wanted to change it. GT Sachetto. But yes, I am British, yes. But I just changed it because I just felt Zexify is just a boring name, but of course some people might have different opinions on that, but you know. Anyway, we're lap 10:13 and we have got some racing. One of them, Profanity versus Jossing. Of course, Jossing's got penalties, whereas Profanity has no penalties. So now into Stowe. Will we see some dive bombs? Potentially, but of course we won't see any of that, but maybe a potential one going into Vale Chicane. Is he going to go for the move? But he's not going to go for the move. He's going to wait, possibly at Brooklands if he gets a good sector 1, but it's very difficult. As you can see, he goes a bit wide though at the exit, which kind of hinders his progress. But currently we're on the penultimate, no, not the penultimate lap. Idealist first losses, I'm not sure. But Sachetto is a good driver. I think watching the Weekend League 2 streams, he can be a very, very good driver. I think he can do whatever it takes to be in tier 1. But Martin has kind of closed onto this train, so Martin can maybe try and fight against these drivers, but you only got 2 laps left, and now is somebody nearly colliding, and that is Roby. He's kind of picked up the pace recently. Now he's dropped a lot of pace at the start, but now he has increased that pace quite. Time to win the constructor against like my rookie season. Oh yeah, anything could happen. Of course, Shortbread dominated the end of last season, but of course I'm going to try and stop that, of course. Yeah, I hope there's no Jeddah. Jeddah's just too dangerous. It's just such... It always spins. It's guarantee a safety car. 2 safety cars. If there are, but in the oh, yeah, exactly. Of course, we'll not know when it's going to be. Maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks, no clue. But now we're on to the penultimate lap of the British Grand Prix, the evaluation race, and currently we've got a fight for 7th here, and of course on track. This is as currently John Wick is losing time, so I think it's going to be a P2 for Shari here. So Shari's going to take that, and he's going to take, I think, his first podium in Gavra racing, if I'm correct. I'm gonna predict the calendar like I predicted Alonso. Oh my! Oh wow! Natty's just a god predictor. Like, Natty's just absolutely mental sometimes. But yeah, hopefully you can see Natty fighting for the championship. Maybe. Of course, there's a lot of quicker drivers. Quicker. You never know. Might absolutely enter god mode. Yeah, Brazil. That track is always on the calendars. I swear. It's always on there. But anyway, now as you can see, Reza is really pushing here, and the gap's 1.2 and the gap's around 1.7, so Reza is really trying to go for that P1 on track. He doesn't want P2 on track, he wants P1, and he is fighting the car all over the track to get that, but he is kind of learning to roll on his battery, same as Shari's. Reza sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, and John Wick has also got a penalty, so Shari's not under threat from any penalties. But now Profidency does get past Jossing, and Jossing down to P8. Roby's behind him with Martin as well, right behind him, as now some drivers are beginning the last lap. Monaco, if qualifying is going to be like the race, and it's going to be a safe, and if it's going to be Monaco, damage off. I'm saying that there's going to be definitely safety, like 2 or 3 safety cars. Just turn damage off, and it's going to be absolutely amazing. And if some people do the wall cheat, if you mean what I mean by that is just hitting the walls and then you just kind of stroll along a lot quicker. You kind of like a Jarno Opmia kind of pace, which is, and if someone does that, you should get disqualified. And yeah. No, France, I don't think it's going to be on F1 23. But now, on the last lap of the Grand Prix, Shari has held in front for the whole race. He's done an excellent race, but unfortunately that penalty is going to wreck him in pieces, as now he could have got his first ever win, but that penalty has said no, it's going to be Reza taking his first win in Gavra racing, as now Shari through the final corner. Anything maybe can happen. Maybe Reza can still spin, remember. Anything can still happen, but Shari comes on track to take the checkered flag, but Reza takes the victory in Silverstone. What a race from the pink livery driver. He takes the race win here in the evaluation race. Shari with P2 after leading the whole race. The penalty just really denied him of having the first spot on the podium. takes third, and that is a very good result from him as well. He'll take that podium. Justin with fourth with an amazing result from him. His pace has been outstanding, as he's managed to get fourth position just behind the top three, which have really isolated the whole pack, as Pulek on his debut takes fifth, Profanity sixth, Micro with takes seventh. He's quite decent, if I'm going to be honest, so let's see what he can do, maybe tomorrow. But I think that's everything, Gavra. Yeah, good race. This is a very good race. This is great racing. The drivers have been really on it today, and hats off to everybody. No DNFs at all, but there's still some racing. No, I think that's everybody just betting. He needs to cross the line. He's going through Maggots and Beckett's as we speak. Maybe they might have. They might have maybe as an additional track. We're still waiting, I think. I don't think it's going to be a Mugello or Germany or any types of tracks like that. I think now they're going to focus on F123. So F122 is not on their focus at the moment. They're still going to be, of course, updating it, fixing the bugs, which they barely do. They barely do. But now that is the race, and the Martin takes drive of the day. That's what position did he get? But that is the podium celebrations. Congratulations to Reza taking the victory here in Silverstone. What a race. And of course was behind Shari the whole race, but that penalty from Shari really hindered him. And also Shari's pace to try and extend it. He's been really good, but hasn't been good enough to extend it to 3 seconds. As that's a very good result from Shari nonetheless. But here is the race classification, the final race results from Silverstone. So Reza takes the win with the fastest lap, just about by 200ths from Shari in P2 after leading the whole race. And unfortunately the penalty really denying that race win, with John Wick taking P3. He's been quite involved with, especially with Reza, but at the end he was just losing that pace. Jolston taking 4th, and then Pudek taking 5th, Profanity 6th, Wave Micro 7th, very good debut for him, really good overtakes as well, really nice driving from the driver, the international driver. As I came last, but it's okay, feel good, yep, all good. I think that's Martin, I think. But of course Roby takes 8th, stays where he was at the start, and then we've got Martin from 9th to 15th to 9th, so he sticks in the top 10, so good result for him after that contact with V10 Ultra. Jossing takes 10th, and then closing out the top 10, Jossing takes that. As now at the end of the top 10, we've got V10 Ultra, Scatter 81, Adam Maloney, Fat Ed Geo, and then we've got Birdie closing out the grid. 2-minute gap, very big gap. But anyway, that is the race today. And also remember, as now we're going to quickly just give you all the information what's happening this week. There's a lot of information for all of you to soak through, but we're going to quickly go through F1 and what's happening tomorrow. So tomorrow we've got, of course, the main social race. It will start at 8 PM UK time. It will be commentated by myself, Gio Viper, and then we've got a full Q1, Q2, Q3 qualifying sessions, 18, 15 and 12-minute sessions, and we expect a full grid coming into the race, which is going to make it even more entertaining. And then you've got the 50% race as well to follow that. And whoever takes the most points in a Silverstone race will become the Team Cup winner for that certain event. And of course, no prizes, of course, given. And also then we've got on Friday we've got the new GT season, GT7. So if you're interested in Gran Turismo 7, hosted by the wonderful Natty himself, make sure to contact his Discord and he'll give you all the information to join. As I think it's like only one spot left, so be quick. be very, very, very quick if you want to join the GT7 league. Maybe Natty might open up a different league, another league soon if is more interest. But of course, we'll see what will happen down the line at GT7. But thank you to everyone for watching. Remember to sign up for the weekend league on F1 via the Gavra Racing website, and remember to tune in tomorrow at the same time for the official Gavra Racing social race for the Team Cup around Silverstone. So thank you everyone for watching, and that's from me, Zexify, or Viper if you should say, and that's all from me. Have a good evening.